And welcome to House to Home. I'm Clyde Hawes. I'm sure glad you could join us here today. My partner in crime here today is Isaiah Payne,
Yep.
Spokane Home Builders. You know, we have a lot of fun here, but one of the main things is that we've really joined up together with the Spokane Home Builders is how to find a pro. You know, and I'm really hung up on that because the Spokane Home Builders, they've been around for a long, long time, and they have been surrounded by a lot of people, in excess of 700 members, right?
Yep. 700 plus and growing.
And they're all pros. And we are here to show you because there are projects that during this period of time, and even not in this period of time, safety is number one. But number two is that we need to be looking of answering questions. Where do we find, and today I'm going to be talking about it, our guest today, Michael Mosback. Thank you, Michael, for joining us. But we're going to be talking about some railings here, right? So this is a pro about railings. Now is the time to be planning ahead. So with that,
Yeah.
I've said it quite a bit.
You have.
Okay, begin to lead us in here. And,
Yeah.
and we were talking with Michael. This
Yeah,
is
well,
great.
Michael's here. I'm really excited. A little bit maybe different. We're talking more about a product here, but a product that is built right here in Spokane, an exciting kind of new company. So, Michael, I'd love for you to just share a little bit about City Post, what you do, and what we've got here to look here, some
Right.
of the products.
Yeah, absolutely. So City Post is the name of our company, and we do one thing, and we do stainless steel cable railing, and that's all we do. We kind of tell people we're a one-trick pony. We saw a need in the market, and we saw an opportunity to go after that segment of the market, and here we are.
Can I throw this out? You know, folks, here's an actual product
Yeah.
here right behind us, except
Tell us
it's
what we're looking at.
a small version of it. But
Yeah.
that is what cable posts, I mean, the whole thing is, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So if you were looking for this online, you would be using search terms like stainless steel cable railing or cable railing. Some people, airline cable railing. But really what it is you have posts, you have the cable, which creates your infill for the railing itself. You have your fittings that pull the tension on the cable, and then you have your top rail. It's really quite simple. We manufacture all of this. It's our own proprietary system. We're patent pending on our bracket right here that fits inside the top of the post, which integrates into the top rail to allow whatever kind of top rail you want to use.
This particular one is a metal one?
That's right. This is a 1x3 aluminum tube, and for that we create fittings to hide your cuts and create transitions, so that when you're
As you go around the corner.
That's right. If you're doing a 90, a 45, a 22 and a half, 11 and a quarter, we framed it kind of around like a plumbing fitting that you would find at a Home Depot or a Lowe's, to so we can keep as few products, number of SKUs on the shelf to help people to do really whatever kind of transition they would ever need on a deck.
Well, now, basically what you're telling us is that this is a DIY project. You can do it that way, or you can hire it done otherwise?
Yeah, that's right. We designed this with a DIYer in mind, because we were struggling when we were building our own custom homes to find a product that we liked, that was easy to order, and that was in our budget. And that was really kind of the genesis of the company, which was about 3 years ago. So we didn't like what we found on the market, so we decided just to create our own and see if we could take an idea and turn it into a product and create a market for it.
Well, I'm not going to hold anybody in suspense. The second half of the show today, we're going to be talking about your success with this. But right now, I want to talk about more of the product.
That's right.
Because that's very important. What is some of the items you have here in front of us? Yeah, the hardware.
Yeah, so one of the things that we noticed when we were looking to install cable railing on our own homes that we were building is that it was really difficult to order, and it was expensive, and nobody wanted to sell it at a fixed or guaranteed price per foot that included all of the components. You had to go through and piecemeal everything out and determine how many posts you needed, what kind of hardware you wanted to use, how you were going to integrate the top rail, what kind of fasteners. So we decided to create basically kits. Think of it like IKEA for cable railing. And so what we have here is we have our posts, and
That's a one that fits on the
that's
deck
right.
itself.
So this would be a base mounted post that actually fits onto the
Right.
to the surface of your deck, or we do these interior as well. So it's not just an exterior product, though everything is rated to be exterior with UV inhibitors and such. And then we also have a fascia mounted post that you would mount to the to the outside face of your deck like this, so that you can
Beautiful.
get whatever kind of look you're really going
Sure.
for.
Now, I have a question before we leave it.
That's right.
On the height, this is all to code.
Yeah, that's a great question, Clyde. And we designed this around how the IRC, or the International Residential Code, is written. So everything meets code. We have a structural...
No questions about it. I mean,
No questions. We have a structural stamp. We have our engineer of record in the Spokane Valley. Everything has been reviewed, and it is stamped by a working structural engineer who's licensed by the state of Washington, Idaho, and Oregon.
So again, if this product is used in Spokane or any outlying areas,
That's right.
Seattle, it'll be approved.
That's right. Any jurisdiction in the country, because so all of the
Okay,
counties...
that's what I wanted to get
Yeah,
down to.
all of the counties and states around the country base their local codes on how the IRC, or the International Residential Code, is written.
Now, I know you're young and you can handle this kind of stuff all the time, but what is it made out of? I mean, is this,
Yeah, so we default in our manufacturing to both carbon steel and stainless steel. So what you're looking at here is carbon steel that's zinc plated or galvanized, and then it's powder coated. We also have a full stainless, or 3/16 stainless, which is marine grade. It's the highest, one of the highest standards of stainless steel, and we also stock that.
so out on the water where it gets a lot of moisture
Yeah.
and it gets a lot of abuse, this product is going to take the abuse.
That's right. It's all industry standard stuff that's designed to withstand the test of time, even in the harshest climates.
Okay. So some of the other products
Yeah.
here,
So all of our kits, they come with all of the posts you need, all of the cable infill, all of your end fittings. All of our components and hardware are made out of industry standard marine grade 3/16 stainless steel. And so these would be, you get for every run or segment of railing that you're doing, you get a bag of these fittings. There's 22, because on a full size model, you would have 11 cable runs that are spaced at 3 inches on center. And that's important because the code says that you can't have greater than a 4-inch gap at any point in your railing system. So we designed the system really conservatively with how the code is written. So everything's 3 inches on center to ensure that you're never going to have any issues
that's
with the
child-proof
inspector.
and according to code.
That's right. That's right. And all the cable and the components are 3/16 stainless steel. If you have stairs, we include bevel washers, which hold your hardware at the correct angle for the stairs. We include all the fasteners that you would use to install the posts. We even include the tools to cut and crimp the cable for the project. And then what we have here is this is the patented piece in our system, and this is our top rail bracket. You can see it here. It kind of fits right inside the top of the post.
Right.
And what that allows you to do is, you can see here, it's on the flange there. It has holes on either side to allow you to secure the top rail from underneath, so that your fasteners are hidden. And what's special about this shape, you'll kind of see it's kind of looks like a quarter of a circle, so that when we have, kind of show you guys how it works here, so that the product fits, the bracket fits inside the post just like that, and then your top rail would sit over the top of it. And the shape is such that when you're going downstairs, it automatically rotates to match whatever the pitch your stairs are.
It's like going around the corner, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And we did that, for the DIYer, because when you're talking about a metal
Right.
product,
Right.
a lot of people get uncomfortable, or they're not used to having to do metal fab. So what this does is it eliminates the need for any sort of metal fabrication. The alternative to this would be, you come in, you set your posts, you pop a line, mark your angle, then you have to...
And hope that you cut it right.
Well, that's right,
Yeah.
but then you have to take your post, you take your post down.
Let's measure twice, cut once.
That's right. So what we've really tried to do is reduce the total amount of labor that it takes to do a project, so that it's accessible for your average homeowner. And
So what are
Yeah.
our other options here? The top rail. What are
Yeah.
the different options that you have
Well,
available for people?
it really depends upon how creative you are, right?
Okay.
So we get pictures back all the time of people around the country that have used our product, and we see some of their ideas. But we stock in-house. We stock a 1x3 aluminum tube, and then we also stock a 1x3 Ipe. Its trade name is Ironwood. It's a Brazilian walnut. Comes from South America, obviously. And it's about 3 to 5 times as dense as oak, and it has all of the same naturally occurring properties as cedar. So it's great for an exterior product. I always ask people, have you ever heard of teak furniture? And everyone says, yeah. It's the same stuff. So it's made to be used outside, and it holds up great. And it's probably our most common natural wood product. But a lot of times what people will do is they'll take a 2x4 piece of cedar or even a Doug fir, and they'll stain it or they'll paint it to match the post, and then they'll cap it with a composite decking to tie in with everything else they have going on. So really, your imagination and your creativity is the limit here.
Well, Michael, you've given us a lot of information here.
Yeah.
We have to take a break because we're going to come back, and I want to talk about the company with you because
Sure.
it's a fascinating story, folks. The product is phenomenal, and I'll share the second part of it later on, but
Yeah.
the bottom line is that you have to see it to believe it because it turns out that well all the way through. And you're dealing with a company here local that you'll be
Right
totally
here in
surprised.
Spokane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Isaiah, let's go ahead and take a quick break if you don't mind, Michael.
That's fine.
Come back with us on House to Home. We'll just see you right soon. See you right then.
To help you be safe, Washington state law requires you to call 811 2 full business days before you plan, for example, to dig, drill, plow, pull from, or pound anything into the ground. Be prepared to provide the operator with the correct address, cross street, and a description of your work. You must mark the dig area with white paint. The operator will inform you of the utilities notified of your impending excavation. Wait for all their marks. Be safe and dig with care.
When building a home or considering a major remodel, who are you going to choose? The Spokane Home Builders Association is an organization that works to elevate professionalism in the residential construction industry. We promote, protect, and educate for our community, building our community one home at a time. We are the Spokane Home Builders Association.
Here at River Ridge Hardware, we carry a great selection of Krylon brand spray paints, Color Master, general purpose, the Rust Protector for taking care of metal, Fusion for taking care of plastics, and the Super Max that can take care of it all.
Weather in the inland Northwest can wear you down. And if your gutters are in poor condition or you do not have gutters, you could suffer damage that could cost a fortune to fix. Rainman Seamless Rain Gutters has almost 30 years of professional experience in serving the inland Northwest region and strives to ensure customer service that is second to none, from the time you call to the end of the project.
Welcome back to House to Home, and today is a very special program. We're talking with City Post, and this is an outstanding product. And Isaiah, we've had a lot of fun for the first half of the show, and let's go into the second part of it. But I want to first show our viewers some of the pictures that are going on, if we can, Vinny, because there's some products, we see it behind us here, but I want to see how it actually works in the actual place.
Talk us through it.
Yeah, absolutely. This was a job that we did up in Bayview. And it's pretty simple. This is what the product looks like. You've got all your posts, your top rail, the cable. This is out in Coeur d'Alene, and you can see we did aluminum top rail on both of these, and you can really get an idea and a feel for how the product goes together by looking at these pictures. If you're out on a lake or really anywhere where you're trying to preserve your view, you have two options. You have cable railing and you have glass panels. And a lot of people, the feedback with glass is, I don't want to have to clean them. What you're looking at here is a job we did over near Columbus, Ohio, with a contractor. Got some good pictures back from him. And as you can see, the product's really flexible. We designed it so that we can really meet any type of angles or turns that you might have on your deck. This is a project we're looking at up in Cold Spring, New York, with a contractor. Kevin Hetty's his name, great guy. And we've done a bunch of work with him. But as you can see, we can do different colors. You can choose different top railings. Most of our clients actually choose to procure their top rail on their own. You can see they kind of went with a black and white look here. This was down in Portland, we did with the contractor. And again, the product's flexible to meet really whatever kind of needs that you have. And this was a job we did here in Spokane, up north with Rippey Home Builders. And they used a white oak handrail there. Again, you can see the flexibility of the product and just its ability to really kind of fit whatever contours you might have inside or outside your home.
Well, I have 3 young kids, and so for me, looking at this, you're talking about this 3-inch difference as opposed to the 4 inches in the code, and I'm looking at that going, that looks secure.
Yeah.
I would put that in my home, and my kid feels safe about my kids being right around it. I mean, it really looks incredibly good, but it also looks very, very safe.
Yeah, so it's a great point, Isaiah. I have 4 kids myself, 8, 6, 4, and 2. Make sure I got that right. And so that's the thing. So all of this cable. So we're using the cable that we're using here. It's 1x19 strand stainless steel cable. It's rated to about 1,700 pounds of force.
Wow.
And these stainless steel cable in fittings that we're using is rated about 75% of the cable, so about 1,200 pounds of force, and you have 11 of them. So the system is very strong. The IRC says that you have to be able to withstand a 300-pound point load, and we've tested about 3 to 5 times that. So there's definitely a safety factor built in.
That's great.
Well, I don't want to get too far into this because we could sit here all day talking to Michael. But, folks, this is why, again, we have joined with the Spokane Home Builders because we want to find a pro. And when you're talking about decking like we've been looking at and see it here, see the product, the railing, that's a product that only the pros can give you. And
right.
City Post is really part of the Spokane success stories. I know that as time has progressed, this just didn't happen overnight, did it?
No, it didn't. So
Can you tell us your success story?
Yeah, absolutely, Clyde. So City Post really started about 6 or 7 years ago when my business partner, Nate Williams, and I we got to know each other playing tennis at the Spokane Club, and we kind of were talking. He was building a home out on Hayden Lake, and he had 300 feet of stairs to get down to the lake. And he was getting quoted, at between $200 and $250 a lineal foot installed. And it's just like, man, the cost of this railing is, a quarter of the budget of the house. And that's not going to work. So Nate's, he's a PhD mechanical engineer. And so he kind of jimmy rigged a system together and it worked great. And then a few years after that, that kind of spurred a conversation about the fact that there was a gap in the market. There was an inefficiency
of this type of product.
That's right. And my background is construction sales. And Nate and I, we became very good friends. And we saw an opportunity. There was, as we started to research cable railing, we realized that nobody was even trying to compete to be the kind of the cost-effective solution for cable railing. It's all very expensive. Most of our competitors start at around $100 a lineal foot, and it goes up from there. And a few years after Nate finished his house at Hayden, I built my own home in Liberty Lake, and I copied Nate's design. And we found some generic posts online. We were drilling things out, and it was really kind of that light bulb moment. And I just thought there's a business here. And so I approached Nate and I said, hey man, we've been talking about this for years, but I'm going after this thing with or without you, but I think we should do it together. and obviously he was all in. So at that point we started getting prototypes made, and being in the construction sales industry that I was, every time we'd get a prototype made, I'd take it around to contractors and wholesalers and really ask them to kind of poke holes in my idea, tell them where we needed to get better so that we didn't spend all this time and money bringing a product to market that nobody wanted. So a lot of the feedback that we got was great. Our initial idea was we were just going to bring in pre-drilled posts and sell those to the contractors because we saw that they were hard to get and they were expensive. And so some of the good feedback that we got was we don't want just posts. We want a full integrated system. You need to figure out how you're going to do the cable and the hardware, and you need to figure out how you're going to integrate that top rail to the posts as well. And so it was literally kind of a napkin drawing one day. I was chatting with Nate, and he kind of drew this shape a little bit and said, man, if we could make something like this, then we could slide it inside the top of the post and save the labor. And that's when we brought our third partner in, Alexi Lee. He's a graduate of Cornell in mechanical engineering, and he works currently for F5 out in Liberty Lake doing mechanical design, and he has a lot of experience with injection molded parts. And so really from there, kind of City Post was born. We kind of scrambled to throw some things together for the Spokane Home and Garden Show back in April of 2018. And funny thing is our inventory of the bracket hadn't come in yet, so we were using 3D printed brackets. We found out that you could actually 3D print for free at the Spokane Library. So we all got library cards for our wives and our kids. And we were using up so much time that the Spokane Library said, no more. You guys are cut off. And we were just kind of praying at the home show that nobody, kind of turned the handle on the top rail too much, because it would just, the 3D printed pieces weren't strong enough. But I'll tell you, from the first day of that home show to today, it's been just uphill from there. Our booth was packed the entire weekend, and we knew that we had something interesting on our hands.
Your success story has gone beyond the Spokane market.
That's right. Yeah, so we sell online is a lot of our big business, and we've just about hit all 50 states at this point. We're currently selling through about 15 wholesalers locally. We have actually like 16 meetings set up next week down the I-5 corridor, so we're expecting to bring on a bunch of new products. We've had some good success with even some of the major big box stores of home improvement. Don't want to say a whole lot about that here, but yeah, we're exceedingly thankful that we've kind of found a niche, and we're just getting started, man.
Okay, I know we've been listening to you and your
Yeah.
success story, and I'm very anxious. Again, folks, you need to make contact if you have any interest along this line.
Absolutely.
And how do we make contact with you?
Yeah, so you can reach us at citypost.com. That's just citypost.com. Our 800 number is 855-GET-CITY, 855-GETCITY. And if you mention that you saw us here, we'll give you an extra discount. Our standard retail price is $65 a foot, and that includes everything that you see here. And
That's post cap.
yep, that's the whole kit and caboodle. Let me know that you saw us on this show, and we'll work out a discount with you.
Very good. A few other things that I want to share with you, because Sam was out last night at our home, and I'm using his product because I've been impressed. And of course, I first have to ask, did you have to give Nate some points on some of his line calls? Is that how you guys get it? Anyway, we'll talk about that offline. But bottom line is that we're integrating wood posts with this particular product because we didn't want to have it look real modern.
Right.
Yet we wanted to blend together, and so we're working these together. And folks, they have the ability of sharing and giving you ideas.
That's right.
You can integrate this product all the way through, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of custom hardware if you want to lag into a wall or existing.
Angled.
That's right, angles, wood posts, things like that. This is kind of our core standard product.
Right.
But this is just kind of the beginning. There's a lot more options. We keep about 10,000 feet of this on the shelf at any given time, but there's a lot of different things we can do because we know that this doesn't fit every single person's desires or every application, and we can custom or whatever. We're happy to work with whatever the situation is.
I want to brag and say my wife didn't like the black, but she picked another color, which is
it's a bronze. It's called BR 251. But it's beautiful, and it's our new stock bronze.
Oh, thank you, Carol. So you see, they are anxious to hear from you and have you visit with them because they will take your input, they'll take your ideas. This is how we find the pros, right?
That's right.
Isaiah. And I want to say, thanks to Avista, Spokane Home Builders.
Yeah, as well, River Ridge Hardware, Rainman Seamless Rain Gutters are sponsors of this program so that we can bring to you pros like Matthew here.
Right.
The product that's here is really incredible, a great new opportunity to put this sort of beautiful option for railing into a home at a price that's accessible to you doing it by yourself at your home or bringing in someone to help you as well. But really a great option, and we're really proud to have City Post as one of our members of the Spokane Home Builders Association. And really the
Go find a pro.
Yeah, growing economic development here in Spokane. It's really exciting to see this taken off, and so get in now. Have City Post at your home before your friends do, because it's
next year you can enjoy the lake and you can enjoy your
That's
summer
right.
out.
Yeah, that's right. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you again, Michael.
Yeah,
Good
thanks for
success.
having us.
Isaiah, thank you, and thank you for joining us here on House to Home and working with the Spokane Home Builders on finding a pro. Until next time, we'll see you then.
Thanks for watching. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or check out any of our other programs on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com. Sponsored by Avista.